In the month of July, the film industry looks toward Guanajuato, Mexico. Why is that? Well, back in 1998, Sarah Hodge and Ernesto Herrera, her late husband, started the Guanajuato International Film Festival here in San Miguel. GIFF is one of the largest film festivals in Mexico, or the largest film festival in Mexico, and an important platform for filmmakers in Latin America. The festival brings emerging talent together with world-renowned experts. The list reads like Tim Burton, Oliver Stone, Spike Lee, among others. The Guanajuato International Film Festival has acted as a catalyst for the new generation of independent Mexican filmmakers, providing an alternative space for young creators to receive awards as well as professional contributions and co-production and opportunities. Sarah was born in Kansas City, Missouri, right? But was raised mostly here in Mexico, both in San Miguel and in Guanajuato. Is it only San Miguel? Okay. I see a cent in Nebraska. Sarah, thank you for making time for us today. She had to miss last week. I got to her too late last year. She couldn't make it, but she's been here last 3, I think, out of the 4 years. And longer than that. So welcome, Sarah Hodge.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for inviting us back and giving us this opportunity to talk about the film festival. We're just a month away, and I forget the order we've got this in, Capich, but tenemos el video primero. So what I'd like to do is just start this by showing you a little bit of what the festival looked like last year to give you an idea of what to expect this year.
Al final, si no les damos oportunidades a las nuevas personas que traen ideas frescas y que son creativos y que tienen como esta necesidad de cambiar la industria, nos vamos a quedar igual.
En una sola palabra, ¿cómo definiría el GIFF?
Incluyente, cultura chingón.
Se celebra mucho la diversidad y eso es algo que agradezco. But in one word, it's very difficult.
Fenomenal.
Enorme.
Spectacular.
Y emocionante.
A ver, Capi, páralo.
Sí.
Ya lo habías bajado a programa. Sí, ¿por qué está en internet y no en el programa de presentación? Okay, we're going to let it chart. We're going to let it come down, and so it'll roll because it's actually a movie. No, it actually moves, and it's not a PowerPoint. So let it come down, and we'll come back to it in a few minutes, okay? Hay que bajarlo para que se cargue en la computadora y luego lo corremos, ¿va? Muy bien. Well, we'll see a little bit of what it was like last year the next time. Next reel. This year we did a call for entry around the world. We received over 4,000 films from 115 countries this year. So we're watching films still a month before the event. From these 4,000 films, we select about 140 films in competition. The festival in C has about 250 films. Maybe more. We're still programming, so I can't even give you the exact number today, but we do a great diversity of film as well as our 140 films in competition. Worldwide, it's, you know, a feather in your cap if you win in the Guanajuato Film Festival, and it's good for the promotion of your film and so that your film is bought in territories and you eventually see it on a platform or in the movie theaters. All of our films, by the way, are premieres. They're world premieres, Latin American premieres, or Mexican premieres. So they only have 1 year of production. Most have less. Most were made in 2024. They're kind of hot off the press in the last 4 months. ¿No lo puedes reducir para que se vea? Regrésalo. ¿Puedes regresar al anterior? No? So, an estimate, because this is what it was last year, we're still programming and we're still fighting for films. We had 32 American premieres, 53 Mexican premieres, and 37 world premieres. We have an international jury. We have a selection jury, which is working right now, and a lot of people from San Miguel who've worked in the film industry over the years, or producers, directors, writers, musicians, animators are on our selection jury that go through these 4,000 films. And then we have a final jury, which are important figures worldwide. We bring them from all over the world to participate on this jury. We have, as well as our films in competition, we have some special areas where we do special genres, special programming. As you know, many of you know, we do horror films in the graveyard in the 3 cities. Y tenemos los sedes, están hasta el final, o okay. Our festival is in León, San Miguel, and Irapuato. In just a minute, we'll give you the dates. We do 2 movies per night for 3 days. And in Irapuato, I think it's an important story because we've been in Irapuato since COVID. Because we were such a massive event, the state wanted to divide our public and they wanted less people at the event. And they asked us to do it in 3 separate cities. And then once we did it in 3 separate cities, then we couldn't go back to doing it in 2 cities because nobody would let us leave. And so in Irapuato, it was a city, as you know, it is a city that has a lot of inseguridad, a lot of violencia. And so the area where the cemetery was almost no access. The police couldn't go in. It was probably the worst part of town, which is true of Guanajuato Capital as well. And we arrived and we're like, well, we want to go to the cemetery. And they're like, no, you can't go to the cemetery. Like, well, we always go to the cemetery. And they're like, well, you can't go to the cemetery because the police can't go in there and nobody will take care of you. So my production director and started talking to kind of the leaders in that part of town and that community. And now we're in the cemetery. And so is the city. The city is in the cemetery once a month with horror films. And that community is actively participating in going to the movies and keeping the cemetery clean and keeping the roads around it cleaned and fixed up. And it's, you know, when you can actually see the impact of what art can do and what expression and free expression and in an area where they had really just kind of blocked it off from the rest of the city, now is, you know, for them to be a venue, you know, we're a venue. And the guests come and the actors come and everybody comes. And this year we're bringing a really cool American, you know, A-line commercial film with the guests. And they're, you know, and it's, so for us, in Irapuato, which is a newer venue for us, we've seen a huge amount of change. You know, unlike in San Miguel, where you do the festival and everybody's like, well, of course it's a success. It's in San Miguel. And you're like, well, yes, that's true. But in Irapuato, they come up and they grab my hand and they thank us for coming and for taking the risk in being there. And so it's meant a lot to us to be in Irapuato, and especially, you know, in horror films have been a huge hit, as well as in León. We are the first film festival in Mexico to have we called it in the beginning, a gay area. Now it's LGBT, all the letters. And we do special screenings in all 3 cities. We do diverse short programs. We have feature films. It used to be that those films weren't in competition and weren't in different areas. Now those stories are everywhere. Those stories are day to day. Those stories are in competition. Those stories are throughout the festival. But when we were going to do away with Locura de la Medianoche, which in Guanajuato we do in the tunnels, and then we do it in a gay bar in León, and we do it in an antro in Irapuato. They're like, no, take it away. We still need that special place and we need the party. And so we still do a special screening, special programming, and special space. Here are the dates. We are in León this year from the 19th to the 21st. We're mostly in the Forum Cultural, which has 3 theaters, and next door are Cinemex that have another set of theaters. It's a fantastic space. We're in the Teatro Bicentenario, which holds 1,200 to 1,300 people. It's a huge facility. It's been really nice to have the festival there. We're able to do mappings on the theater, huge red carpets and big guests, and the major events of the festival are in León these days, of the last 4 years. In San Miguel de Allende, we are from the 22nd to the 25th of July. These are the venues that we have confirmed so far. We're opening them up. I'm almost afraid to say where they are because we're not allowed to do the film festival here. So we don't want to give them any ideas before we go to these new spaces. But we will end up with having 6 or 7 venues in San Miguel during these 4 days. As many of you know, we do not have the support from the city. And not only that, we're not allowed to do the event here, supposedly. But we do it anyway because we're from San Miguel and the festival's from San Miguel. And we have a film residency here where we bring in filmmakers from all over the world to edit, to write their screenplays. We're partners with Cannes, Rotterdam, Berlin, Tokyo. And we bring those filmmakers in through exchanges we have with other countries. So we're here all the time, and we're going to talk to you about other film formación cinematográfica. I'm not going to be able to say that in English. Film development and forming young filmmakers, and it's an educational-based project that we also do in San Miguel. So it's hard not to work here all year long and not have the film festival. So we had an election last week, so we won't be having the film festival for 3 more years, but we will. And so please help us get the word out there that we do have a film festival, and it will be operating, and we have lots of fabulous films, and we're in more private areas. We're with Nigromante, with Bellas Artes, because we have funding from the federal government, and they allow us to be in the federal facility. And so, yeah, we have a couple other places that we're not mentioning yet, but they're great locations, and everybody will be really happy, and we'll tell you 5 minutes before the festival. We might tell you 5 minutes before the festival, but we would appreciate it that the Rotary help us with their club, spread the word, let everybody know where the festival's going to be, and invite your friends, and invite, the festival is free, and it continues to be free 27 years later. It was always considered a platform that if you wanted to get close to film, you wanted to watch film, talk film, live film, you had a place in as a part of that, and because of that call, we do receive tourists from 32 states of Mexico and about 50 countries. And so it does have, a large following, and like all events after COVID, we're building it back up again. And we are divided still in 3 cities. And it is an election year, so funding was extremely difficult, and we're still fighting for funding. Because it was an election year, the federal government gave no funding to any events that weren't states of Morena. And so Guanajuato and Guadalajara and other states didn't receive federal funding for the first time in 15 to 20 years, probably 20 years. Yeah. So that was a hit, but we're still going to do it. And so film festivals die hard. And so we're pulling it all together, and we're very grateful. We have a lot of help from the governor and from the state, and they're coming in. And the cities of León and Irapuato also support us. The city of San Miguel doesn't right now, but eventually, we're hoping that they'll come back on board. And you never know, Mauricio might have a change of heart. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But we definitely have some fantastic films planned for you guys. And we are in Irapuato, and we're in 6 or 7 venues in Irapuato. The festival runs beautifully there without incident. The entire city participates, and it's packed solid, and it's a huge success in Irapuato. And so we will continue to do 3 cities, as long as we can physically do it. It's rough. I think we're the only A-line film festival in the world that we know of that are consecutive in 3 different cities at the same time. So that's what makes our number so big, and that's why we're the largest film festival in Mexico, and also because of our call for entry and the number of films we present. In order to see all the movies, be there for all the homenajes, the tributes, and the music, and cinema picnics, and everything we're doing, you really need to go to the 3 cities. And I invite you guys to give León a chance, and then give Irapuato a chance. Irapuato, we say that like, Irapuato, but it's really fantastic. It's really fantastic. And Terry Kavanaugh, who's one of your group and might be on Zoom right now, always goes to Irapuato with us as well. So maybe you guys can get together and come and visit us, see some of the guests that we'll be having there. We are a month out, so I cannot give you yet the list of names because we haven't announced it in the press, but we have major tributes to iconic filmmakers that will be here, actors, directors, and we will be announcing all of that and the program on the 9th of January. So once we have the program, July. Oh, sorry. Yeah, way after it's over. Sorry, of July, the 9th of July. And we will be happy to send the program to you guys. We have a digital program, and if you guys can share that amongst your members, that would be fabulous. But you all are cordially invited to attend. We'll be doing 4 national tributes, and when you hear who they are, it's pretty exciting. And I think even as foreign citizens, will recognize these filmmakers. One of our biggest activities, and it's our activities all year round, is we have a formación program, which is an educational program. We do a call for entry in the fall. We select 12 films. We produce 6 documentaries and 6 feature shorts, but it's an educational program. So starting in January, there you go, it is January. We work with 120 young filmmakers on 12 films. They received 28 workshops, diplomados, talleres. How do you say that in English? Workshop. You don't know. And they, every weekend, they're here in San Miguel, and they take 3 days of very intensive filmmaking classes in photography, writing, cinematography, illuminación, directing actors, everything. And we present these films during the film festival. We open with the documentaries from San Miguel de Allende. We've been very successful with these documentaries. They've been in a large number of film festivals around the world, Sundance, London, we've won prizes all over the world. And those are documentaries. We do special programs. Someday we'd love to, do a program for you guys if you're interested in knowing more about the stories of Guanajuato. The films are really quite lovely. And then we do a rally, a 48-hour production rally. So these other 60 students have been working and studying up until the film festival, and then we do a 48-hour production rally, and they shoot and edit and present their films in the film festival in 48 hours. And those films are actually surprisingly fabulous also, and travel throughout the world and are in film festivals. And we're really proud of this project. So we have now produced over 80 films, Mexican stories, another 80 films in shorts that were shot here in the state of Guanajuato. During the film festival, we'll be having lots of conferences, we'll be having workshops. Taking advantage of the fact that Penn is here, we'll be doing workshops for screenwriting, for women about women, inviting women to write, but also men to write about women's stories. And that's done in Women in Film and Television. And so we'd like to invite the Penn community if they're interested in being a part of that workshop as well. We will be doing all kinds of conferences, and we'll be doing a call ahead of time for these type of special workshops that if you'd like to be a part of, you can also sign up. And those will be all on our webpage, and we'll be sending links. And if you follow us on social media, we're constantly putting up our activities and what we're up to and how to get it. You know, you don't need a ticket, but some things are by invitation. And we let you know how you get online and how you can get your bracelet for that. Lots of parties going on. We're not asking for adoptive filmmakers this year, as we have done in other years. If you're interested in adopting because you'd like to meet filmmakers, we would consider it, though the numbers of the guests we're having are covered by all the hotels in San Miguel. And we really hate to ask the favor to adopt and then not have the need to send you a filmmaker. And so this year we're not asking directly, but who knows, hopefully. The festival is so small in San Miguel that we don't have the need for that many filmmakers like we used to. We used to bring in about 150 filmmakers to San Miguel, and now we're probably bringing in 40. But if you have a house in León, that's what we're really needing. We're needing houses. No sé si we have different projects. We have a project called Project Glamour. We have red carpets, and we have major actors and directors and important film people walking on those red carpets. And rather than giving those red carpets to Dior or, you know, they used to like send us the clothes from Mexico City and say iron them and send them back, and we thought this is ridiculous, you know. So we opened our red carpets to young designers from Guanajuato and from Mexico, and so they design all year and make specialty dresses and suits for men and for all of our guests for the red carpet. And it's a show space. We bring in specialty press for fashion and design. And it's been a great platform for young designers. We'll be doing one here in San Miguel. We'll be doing one we'll let you know an hour before we're doing it. But we will be doing one, and we hope some of you can attend. This year, our theme is Humanidad, humanity. And it's in response to last year's theme, which was AI. And the festival last year was powered by AI. Almost 80% of the production of the festival was done exclusively by AI. And our response and we wanted to raise attention to the Mexican film industry of the risk that AI posed to jobs. And a year later, we've seen that. You know, the writers' rooms that once had 20 writers now have 4 writers. Animators who took a year and a half, 2 years to make films now can make them in 2 weeks with one person. It's a serious situation. And so we thought it was important this year to talk about the human story, the human element, human creativity, and focus on the fact that we are the creative aspect, and AI is a machine, and AI is a tool. And we need to, as humans, respect human talent and pay for human talent and keep it alive. And so that's the basis and our message this year for the film festival. I don't know, is the video down? hopefully it'll run. Let's see how well it'll run and just so you can get an idea of the festival.
El Festival Internacional de Cine Guanajuato celebra lo mejor del cine mundial. Disfruta de nuestra selección cinematográfica, alfombras rojas, conferencias, películas de terror en el Panteón y conoce a los protagonistas del séptimo arte. Emocionate y disfruta de todas nuestras actividades que echarán a volar tu imaginación. El evento más esperado del año llega a León, San Miguel de Allende e Irapuato del 19 al 29 de julio. Toda la información en www.gif.mx.
Secretaría de Turismo.
That's our commercial this year to get you excited about going. But yeah, I don't know if you have any questions or.
Thank you so much. Again, the questions, here we go.
So thank you, Sarah, for being here. So seriously, when could we expect to get some of the detailed information, the schedule that we can share with our Rotary Club members and the 900 people on our mailing list?
The 9th of July. The 9th of July, and not,
Well,
unfortunately, not before that.
okay,
Yeah.
so July 9th.
Mhm.
And we'll make sure we do that. I
Thank
also
you
have a
so much.
website in town and I'll make sure it's on that too.
Fantastic. I appreciate it.
So do I understand correctly that all the films will not be shown in every city?
That's correct. Most red carpets and premiere films that are outside of competition will only be shown in the city where we're having that premiere. San Miguel has its own premieres, and we do program according to our audiences. So you'll see that San Miguel is diverse culturally and may have an artistic element, or we do program specifically for our audiences. But yes, to some of the big Mexican films, some of the big international films, you would have to go to León or even to Irapuato. We have two big films in Irapuato. China we have a special program from China and some really incredible Chinese films. We've got Chinese drummers and dragons and things and we will be having the Chinese party here in San Miguel. And so a lot of the Chinese activity will be here. And then, as you mentioned, I was born in Kansas City, but my father's family is from Kansas. My mother's family is from Nebraska. So I grew up in Nebraska and San Miguel. And a young man, I think he's a young man because he's younger than me, but of course he's probably 40 something. But he is a filmmaker and he's now in Hollywood and he's a very successful filmmaker. His name is Adam Remeyer, and he did a film about our public pool in Nebraska City where I grew up. So he's bringing his movie which is a huge box office success in the US right now. It's called Snack Shack, and it's the snack shack where we got all of our Choco Sticks and frozen Snickers when I was growing up. And so it's a film that I want to share with San Miguel because it's my other city. And so we're going to be at Taboada see, there I said it, but don't tell anybody. We're going to be at Taboada doing this. We're going to do a float in so you can watch the movie from the pool or from the side. And we're going to have a fully stocked snack shack and lots of dancing and lots of fun.
Anyone else? Oh, Gil.
And also making sure I understood, because in the past, I've always helped house the visitors, the filmmakers, but we won't need to be doing that here in San Miguel.
Well, we're not asking. We've had people call us, and if people are really interested and want to do it and have the room ready, and that's great. And yes, we will hand over some filmmakers con mucho gusto. But sometimes it's stressful for the foreign community or just the people at homes, and they feel like they have to do it, and we really don't have that many guests, and so. But we have people who continue to come back to San Miguel because they fell in love with their adopters and they continue to come back because it's a wonderful experience. So if you do have a guest room or guest house or whatever, and you are interested in housing an international filmmaker or a national filmmaker, we will more than gladly.
So somebody will be coordinating that?
Yes, we do. We have a coordinator.
Thank you, Sarah, for your presentation. Do I understand correctly that the three cities are not run concurrently? Is separate dates?
4 days, 4 days, and 4 days.
Oh,
We
okay.
put San Miguel during the week. It works really well for us because we're not competing with weddings, and hotels and restaurants are much more generous when they're empty or have less people. And so it seems to work really well for San Miguel, and it brings in tourists when we might not have them otherwise.
Do you provide any kind of transportation between the cities?
We
For
do.
example, people living here, is there a way that they could get out to
don't.
León?
We do move our guests, and that's about all we can handle.
Okay.
You know, our budget cuts have really,
Understand.
Yeah.
Thank you.
the federal government, when AMLO took over, cut the budgets for festivals. It's called ProFest, and it's a call for entry for festivals. We used to receive money from Congress, and before AMLO, 4,000 festivals were funded by federal funds. After that, 400 festivals were funded. So it was a 90% cut. And the amount that they gave to you was a 90% cut. So we received 10 million before, and we received 1 million now. And then the next year it was 280 festivals. We were still one of them. This year it's 68 festivals, and not in states that don't have Morena government. But now it's going to be everybody's. I only have like 2 states left.
Thank you so much again.
Thank you. A Rotary Cup.
Yeah. I know Sarah's probably got a collection of these going, right?
I think we've got them in the office. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Hope you can come to the festival.